At the beginning of the movie, we see overpopulated and polluted Earth. Here on Earth, people here are fighting diseases, pollution, crime, and discrimination. Society has been dived into classes. The poor people are living on Earth in the year 2154, suffering from diseases. On the other side, Earth's wealthiest people have left Earth and started to live in a spaceship called Elysium to preserve their way of life. Here, all the happiness of the world is enjoyed there. Robot servants are there every time to serve you. On the other side, we see a polluted and overpopulated Earth with people living in poverty and struggling to survive. We see a 9-year-old boy living in an orphanage named Max. His friend Frey is telling Max about Elysium. She tells him about the luxurious life of Elysium. She tells people who live there not to get old or sick. They have a pod in every house which can treat any diseases or injuries. Being impressed by the story, Max promises Frey that one day he will take her there. After that, scene shifts, and we see Max has grown and become a man. He had some criminal records but is now out on a bail. He is working in a company named Armadyne, which makes robots for Elysium. One day going to work, officers' robots come and ask him for a scan, and he refuses to cooperate and give a scan. He makes fun of them, so officers forcefully scan him and broke his hand and order him to visit a police station. He goes to the hospital and sees his childhood friend, Frey. He was meeting her after a long time, so he asks her out for coffee. He goes to the police station, and we see that all the official work on Earth is being done by robots. Spider is a guy who is secretly sending people to Elysium on his privet shuttles from Earth seeking medical treatment on the luxurious space station. The Secretary of Defense Delacour got notified about that, and she orders Agent Kruger on Earth to kill them with a missile to maintain this exclusivity. 2 out of 3 got hit, but 1 reached Elysium. People from the shuttle ran to the pod to get treatment. The sight of them caused a stir among the rich inhabitants of Elysium, and they got arrested by robotic police and sent them back to Earth in a spaceship. The next morning, Max was working in the factory, and he puts robots in a radioactive chamber and closes the door, but it got stuck. The engineer told him to go inside and fix it. He opposes it, but the engineer says if he doesn't fix it, he will fire him. Even though he didn't want to, he went inside and the door automatically closes, and he got a lethal dose of radiation. Workers forcefully open door, and Robot brings him out, sends him, gives him medicine, and tells him he has only 5 days to live. Max goes home in grief, and on the way he meets his friend. Max tells his friend everything, and asks him to take him to Spider. He takes him to Spider. Max asks Spider for a ticket to Elysium, but since he doesn't have money, Spider refuses and makes fun of him. In anger, Max put a knife to Spider and Spider put a gun to Max, and Max says, "If you kill me, I have so much radiation inside that you will also die." When Spider came to know that Max is about to die, he put an offer to Max that if he does, he'll give him a ticket to Elysium, and Max agreed. Spider asks him to steal data from John Carley's brain. He was the CEO of Armadyne Company. He has all login and password details in his brain. John Carley comes to Earth every day from Elysium. Spider performs surgery on Max and implants a neuromachine in his body that enhances his strength several times. Then Max and his team attack John Carley's ship and shot him and start stealing data. They put a cable on John Carley's brain and another one on Max's brain. But Secretary Delacour got informed about this attack, and she orders Agent Kruger to save John and kill the attackers. Somehow Max and his team successfully steal data, but they were not able to read it as it was encrypted. At that time, Agent Kruger arrives there and starts killing them, but somehow Max manages to run away. Max got injured in the fight with Agent, and he runaways to Frey's home. Frey helps him and gives him treatment. When Max wakes up the next morning, he finds that Frey has a daughter. She tells Max that her daughter has cancer, and the only cure is at Elysium. She requests Max to take her daughter with him to Elysium, but Max refuses. The drones spot Max as he leaves Frey's house, and the agent learns Max's location. Max runs away, but Kruger arrives at Frey's house and asks her about Max. Frey refuses to tell him anything, so the agent kidnaps her and her daughter and takes them to his ship. Max goes to Spider to give him data so he can send him Elysium. Spider tells Max that they have jammed the signals, and now no one can go to Elysium. As Spider reads Max's data, he tells Max that it reboots code of Elysium and can change the codes of Elysium, which contains the codes to override Elysium's computer system and make him the new ruler of Elysium, and can make anyone a citizen of Elysium. This is precious, and they will find him from anywhere for that. When Max finds out data is precious and they can do anything for this, he plans to make a deal with them. He goes in front of a drone and surrenders himself and put a condition in front of Agent that, if he takes him to Elysium and heals him, then he can take whatever is on his mind. Max puts a grenade on his own head and threatens that if they act smart, he will blow his head off, which would ruin their plangent. Agent agrees to that and welcomes him into a spaceship. Max saw Frey and her daughter in spaceship. Agent Kruger calls Security Delacourt and tells her he has found Max. Spider and his men chases Max to Elysium. They get into a spaceship with the intention of finding Max and using the code for the benefit of humanity. On the way, Agent Kruger misbehaves with Frey, which angers Max. As Max reacts, their agreement turns into a big fight, and Max's grenades shout out, which completely disfigures Agent Kruger's face. Ship loses its control and crashes onto Elysium. As soon as the ship crashes, Frey takes her daughter and runs to a nearby home to treat her disease with the help of a medical pod. However, since she was not a citizen of Elysium, the medical pod does not work. The guards eventually catch them. Kruger's man fix Agent Kruger's face using medical pod. Meanwhile, guards put Max on a machine to extract all the information from his head, but the extraction is sure to kill him. But Delacourt don't care about it and just want data from his head. The doctor are about to extract data from his head and kill him, but he manages to free himself in time. At the same time, Delacourt belittles Kruger for crashing his spaceship and threatening the life of Elysium's citizens. As she insults him, enraged Kruger stabs her in the neck. He planned to rewrite the code and make himself the president of Elysium. He goes to rewrite the code. Meanwhile, Spider and his men also land on Elysium looking for Max. Max, on the other hand, is looking for Frey when he sees Spider in facility through a screen. He contacts him and tells him to go on forward with the plan of making everyone citizen of Elysium, and thus eradicating all diseases from Earth. Max then rescues Frey and meets Spider. He sends Frey to nearby pod and asks her to wait until they recode everyone as Elysium's citizen so her daughter can be healed. After that, Max along with Spider goes to recode the system, but Kruger caught them on the way. Max and Kruger got into an intense fight and Max wins. After defeating him, Max and Spider get to mainframe and get ready to extract the code from Max's brain. However, CEO John had coded that anyone who extract code would be killed. The only way to save everyone else in the world is for Max to die. In his limited time, Max calls Frey and tells her he had kept his promise he made to her when they were little. After the emotional moment, he presses the button to reboot Elysium's system and kills himself in process. The system registers every human as citizen of Elysium. Frey's daughter is healed. Meanwhile, many ships are sent to Earth with pod to help people recover from diseases and injuries. That was from video. I hope you liked it and subscribe for more content like this.